Amen.
And I'm glad, like he said, that you're here breathing. You ever think about the alternative? I'd rather be breathing. Are y'all awake?
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. All right. What I want to talk to you today, you can title this whatever you want. I'm going to talk to you about the liar and the big lie. There's a big lie. I'm going to be all over the place, and we're going to start in John chapter 9, or chapter 8. So if you want to turn there. John chapter 8. I could read and preach the whole thing. It's one of my favorite stories about Jesus teaching in, for lack of a better term, church, and then bringing a woman who was caught in the act of some sin, and religious people brought her in to roast her in front of Jesus, and he wouldn't do it. So we're going to just move right on through this. He gets into discussion with some religious people here. Let's start in about verse 31. Jesus, therefore, was saying to those Jews who had believed in him. And y'all listen to this person. Listen to this very person. If you abide in my word, then you're truly disciples of mine. The word abide there is live. If you live in the things he says, if you live in his word, then you really are one of his disciples. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now these religious people answered him, well, we are Abraham's offspring, and we have never yet been enslaved to anybody. So how is it, Jesus, that you say we should become free? In other words, we're Abraham's descendants, and we ain't never been in bondage, so we basically know the law. We know a lot of religious stuff. So what do you mean, Jesus, that we're going to finally get free? And Jesus said, well, truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who commits sin is a slave of sin, and a slave doesn't remain in the house forever. You better hear this personally. If you're involved in choosing to live a lifestyle of sin, okay, God's not mad at you. God's not against you. God's not condemning you. But you'll get to the point where you'll become a slave. Mm-hmm. And you'll determine it, where you won't remain in the house forever. But the Son does remain forever. If therefore the Son shall see, if therefore, in that context, that with this reasoning, that the Son will make you free, then you'll be free indeed.
Yeah, amen.
Okay, are you hearing anything?
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
Now, Jesus says, I understand that you're Abraham's offspring. I understand that. Yet, you seek to kill me. Guys, I understand that you guys are good Jews. I understand that you're descendants of Abraham. But you guys are trying to kill me because my word, what I'm saying, has no place in you. You can't live this word. I understand you guys are very religious, but you guys are going to end up trying to kill me because you can't receive what I'm trying to tell you from a different perspective. Now here's where I really want you to focus in on what I'm going to teach today. Jesus says, I speak the things which I have seen with my Father, my Abba, my Daddy. Therefore you also do things which you heard from your father. Now, I got to back up from the speakers a little bit. There's a difference here. I want you to hear both sides. Jesus says, I'm doing things that I've seen. You're doing things that you've heard. I've seen some stuff. You guys have only heard. You haven't seen like I've seen spiritual things. Okay? And I'm only telling you things that I've seen And the word, both of these words are translated Father, but they're different words. He says, I'm speaking things, I'm telling you things that I've seen with the Father, but you're doing things that you heard from your father. And listen, the word Father that Jesus says is Abba, Daddy. But the word translated Father that he tells them is the word Pater. It's not Daddy. It's parent. Let me read this to you again, kind of in my Greek personal translation. I'm speaking things, I'm telling you things which I have seen with my spiritual eyes, my daddy do. But you are doing things which you've only heard your parent say. I'm teaching you stuff I've seen Daddy tell me to teach, but you guys are just doing things that you've heard your parent say to do.
Amen.
Amen.
Now you're starting to understand this. Okay? And they said, Abraham's our father. Jesus said, well, if you were Abraham's children, then go ahead and do the deeds of Abraham. What does that mean? Way before the law. Abraham was not a Jew.
Amen.
Like Moses. Do you get this? They're saying, look, we're Abraham's children. We do everything right. He said, well, if you really were Abraham's offspring, then act like Abraham. He didn't live life by the law.
Amen.
Everything he did was by faith.
Amen.
Amen.
That's right.
Everything Abraham did was simply between him and God by faith.
Yeah.
He was way before Moses and the law.
Yes.
If you really are Abraham's offspring, start having a relationship with God like Abraham did, that had nothing to do with the law, but only had to do with faith.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay? Excuse me. But as it is, wait a minute.